Hi.
Wave.
Who are you?
The supposed quietude of a good man allures the ruffian, while on the other hand, arms, like laws, discourage and keep invaders and plunder in awe, and preserve order in the world as property. The same balance would be preserved were all the world destitute of arms, for all would be alike. But since some will not, others dare not lay them aside. Horrid mischief would ensure the law-abiding deprived of the use of them. Thomas Paine. That quote alone describes the only reason I should have to give you for wanting to bear arms, whether it be a shotgun, pistol, or a semi-automatic rifle. Hi, my name is Matt Winnekamp, and I would like to take a few moments to educate you on gun control. Recent tragedies in this country have sparked a strong uprising against this country's Second Amendment right of the United States Constitution. Now, I'm not going to play my trump card yet. I would like to persuade you in a different way than maybe you've heard before. I'm going to use statistics retrieved from other countries with very strict gun bans. The countries I'll be talking about are Great Britain, Australia, Germany, and Canada. The Holocaust. This is the world's worst tragedy that's ever happened to the human race. It could have been avoided if the citizens of Germany have not given up their rights to bear arms. The government was able to succeed very easily by disarming the opposing government officials by calling them communist, and then taking away guns from the citizens who oppose the government, calling them dangerous to society. Here's another law they passed, which might sound very familiar to those who have been listening to the news. They also had a national registry for all gun owners, which made it very easy for them in one night to disarm the rest of the law-abiding citizens that may have stood up to the dictator. I know you are all thinking this could never happen again, and I hope that is the truth. And I'm sure that the 6 million Jews that died never thought that it was possible either. But it is possible when people cannot defend themselves against the enemy with superior weapons. Great Britain put in place some of the strictest gun control laws ever seen in the 20th century. The weapon ban was put into place in 1997. In 1997, there was only 2,600 crimes committed with the use of a gun. Research lately shows that guns were used in 10,000 crimes in 2010. How is that supposed to work? Gun control told me that it was supposed to reduce the guns used in crimes. Also remember that this was a radical ban on all semi-automatic rifles and handguns for the whole country. Recent polls also show that American ranks higher in perception of walking safely in the dark, being ranked second, opposed to Great Britain and Australia, who are ranked 12th and 14th, which have very strict gun laws to keep the people safe in that country. You are also 125% more likely to be raped in Great Britain and 150% more likely in Australia. Suicide rates are also higher in these countries. Here are some more disturbing facts for you. Australia has 43% more crime victims per year than the U.S., and Great Britain has 133% more assault victims per year than the U.S. Canada has 92% more assault victims per year than the U.S. and 100% more rape victims than the U.S. So I repeat my question. How do gun bans or gun control help stop violent crimes? It's a rhetorical question. They do not. They never have. Criminals commit crimes and will keep doing so as long as the human race exists. Law-abiding gun owners do not go into schools and shoot innocent kids. They do not walk into malls and unload 30-round clips into a crowd of shoppers. That's what criminals do. Criminals will always be able to get their hands on guns and cause harm. It's up to the law-abiding gun-owning citizens to help law enforcement protect themselves and others from these criminals. I read an article from the Washington Post, or the Washington Times, that says, in an exhaustive analysis with data from 170 U.S. cities that did control for such factors, Mr. Kleck and fellow researcher E. Brett Patterson concluded that there was no general impact of gun control laws on crime rates. So by now I'm sure that you are wondering what my plan is to stop mass shootings. In schools and public places, it is pretty simple. Let the law-abiding citizens have their permit to carry, and let them take responsibility to own a gun in a safe manner and protect themselves and others from criminals. Second, we have thousands of U.S. military men and women that don't need to be in Iraq or Afghanistan anymore. Bring them back and let them protect our schools and public areas. We trust them to defend us from evil in other parts of the world. Why can't we trust them to protect us from evil in our own country? I talked earlier in my speech about my trump card and how I wanted to persuade you with facts and statistics first. So if that didn't work, here's my other explanation. The Second Amendment. We have a God-given right to bear arms, militia-style arms, just like we have the God-given right to speak freely and practice whatever religion we would like. This was not a privilege given to us by our government. This was a right given to us from free people, as free people. Thank you for listening to my speech.